what's up guys, Sal here, and this is my unboxing and long-term review of the Nokia 7.2. It has been my daily driver for the better part of the month of November now. I feel confident about sharing my opinion and review on this device. As always, I'll be sharing the pros and cons of using it, and I'll provide timestamps in the description of this video and the pinned comment so you can get to skip ahead to sections quickly that you want to get informed on. Also, I'll be giving away one, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you have notifications turned on. I'll be giving more details about that towards the end of this video, so stick around to the end. Without further ado, let's get to the review. Opening the box of the Nokia 7.2, we get the device itself, and on it we've got the Google Assistant inscription. Putting the device aside, we get the SIM ejector tool. Right beneath it, pretty standard stuff. Taking the paper away, the next thing we get is the rubber case. It feels pretty solid and protective. Beneath that too is the Nokia 7.2 paperwork and product and safety information with quick start guide. Lastly, we get this cuboid box. Inside it is where we get the 10-watt charger. We get the headphones that are quite sturdy and not of the in-ear kind. Then we get the USB-C cable. That's it for everything we get in the box. And now to the device itself. The wrap on it has the colorful Google Assistant button direction to where it's showing the dedicated Google Assistant button. Taking the wrap off, we get the device with another wrap yet again, and this time on the screen. Here is where we get the 48 megapixel camera with Zeiss optics inscription, HDR display, 3500 mAh battery, and of course it's an Android One device, so you get up to 3 years of software updates. Taking the wrap off the screen, it shows you the 6.3-inch display panel. Things are a bit warmer on the back of the Nokia 7.2. It's matte and it's a very beautiful matte finish. It's also flush to the back, to the edges, and it's almost like nothing I've used before. Nokia 7.2 does unibody very, very well. On top of the Nokia 7.2 is where we get the microphone and the headphone jack, and on the right side is where we get the power button, which actually lights up, and the volume rockers. On the left side is where we get the dedicated Google Assistant button and the slot for the SIM card and the memory card. Taking the tray out, to see an array for a memory card of up to 512 gigabytes and 2 nano SIMs. On the bottom of the device is where we get the microphone port, the USB-C port, and the nice 2-grill speaker section. And in front, you get 20 megapixel f2.0 Zeiss optics camera capable of HDR shots. Towards the bottom, there is a Nokia inscription there to remind you that you have a Nokia phone. Relax, this is not a Xiaomi phone, this is a Nokia phone. On the back, we get the Zeiss optics inscription on the round camera section. In detail, we've got a 48 megapixel camera sensor, the 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor beside it, and below it is where we've got the third 5 megapixel depth sensor and the flash. All those are enclosed in this obvious camera bump, and below that is the fingerprint reader and the Nokia logo. Right at the end is the Android One branding with certifications. If you're a fan of matte finishes, especially matte black, you're going to love the Nokia 7.2. It's not only matte, but it's flush to the touch. Color options for the Nokia 7.2 are matte green, silver, and matte black, which is what we have here. It's not that heavy in the hand, and it weighs only 181 grams, and when a case is on it, it goes up by 21 grams to 202 grams. It's still quite handy. I like that when the case is on the device, it's raised in the front too, and even though it has a case, this is the only device I've used without a case as much. On the flip side though, the camera protrudes quite largely, and it would rock when it's placed on the table, when the upper corners are touched. As far as the setup time, it took 1 minute and 30 seconds to set up the Nokia 7.2 from boot up. From here we get into Android 9, pretty much pure Android with no bloatware. The Nokia 7.2 utilizes a dual drop notch, and in terms of bezels, this guy got some bezels on the bottom, not on the sides though. In the display section, there's something called pure display, which basically affects the way colors appear on the smartphone, and you also get to toggle to change from SDR to HDR. I couldn't really tell the difference between SDR and HDR. Also, you can't hide the notch, and that is a good thing. You can adjust fonts, how big and small you want things to be, as well as lists and icons. There is no conventional dark mode on here. You only get to change the theme of the app drawer in the display settings. The sort of closest thing to dark mode is color inversion in the accessibility setting, which inverts all colors on this device. Maybe if it was an OLED display, it would be nice, but it's not, and it kind of messes with the color of things in a way. Unless you are probably trying to save your eyes, I wouldn't really recommend using color inversion. Oh, and you can also slide across the fingerprint to trigger the notification/control center. The left side of the Nokia 7.2 houses the dedicated Google Assistant button, which for some reason I didn't find too intrusive and I didn't find too useful either. The light on the right side comes on and stays on when it's charging, and when it's idle, it blinks I thought it was cool. The Nokia 7.2 is a 6.3-inch LCD display with an 83% screen to body ratio. The screen resolution of the Nokia 7.2 is FHD 1080p by 2290, 19:9 aspect ratio, capable of HDR10, and is protected by Corning's Gorilla Glass 3. I feel that price may have been the factor, to use something like Gorilla Glass 5, just like the Redmi Note 8, which I reviewed earlier. The Note 8 is a bit cheaper than this one, but other than that, this also feels very sturdy, just like the Note 8. Streaming videos on the Nokia 7.2 was quite good. YouTube videos are capped at 1080p, and streaming HDR content was also very, very good on this device. It's capable of 1080p at 60 fps, and the video quality looked beautiful. Paired with high quality internet, I highly recommend it. When watching videos on this device or gaming, of course, because it's a single speaker, the speaker is single, you can easily block the speaker when you're holding it like this. The sound quality is good enough, and yes, there are two microphones on this device, on the top and the bottom, so there's some sort of stereo recording going on. And in terms of sound quality, here is how it sounds. Alright guys, so this is the voice quality test of the Nokia 7.2. I'm holding it the same way I will hold it when I'm making a phone call in a sound controlled area. Let me know what you think about the sound quality in the comment section down below. Sound quality in terms of voice was a bit heavy on the lower frequencies. It sounded like it had a low pass filter, and it may not sound so clear. In terms of the speaker quality though, for music, it was more on the highs with regards to playback. It wasn't so loud. It's not the loudest speaker in the world, and it could easily be blocked. You could almost kill the sound completely if you block it. Also guys, if you like the songs I use in my video, the intro, the outro, and all that, I get my songs from Musicbed. They're one of the best music licensing platforms for YouTubers and creators. Major brands like Facebook, Samsung trust them, and you can also get access to the instrumentals and actual songs of very talented artists. It starts at $9.99 per month, and I'll leave a link in the description below to where you can get 30 days free to sign up and improve your creations. Alright, now we'll get to the device's specifications. The chipset that the Nokia 7.2 utilizes is the Snapdragon 660, which is a 14nm chipset. It's an octa-core processor, and it's paired with the Adreno 512 graphics chip. Not too many people were fans of this decision, but for a mid-ranger in 2019, while it performed well with my use, a faster processor would have justified the cost of 100k. Lastly, the gaming capabilities on this device. Occasional gaming doesn't stress the device too much. Out of the box, Asphalt and PUBG were set to medium, and you can see the obvious pixels in graphics from Asphalt. Changing the graphics settings from medium to high, you get occasional lags, and the upper part of the back does get warm to the touch. It was somewhat significant, and it got up to 38 degrees when I tested it with my heat gun. That was a bit on the high side. Nokia boasts of their exclusive Android One releases, and the Nokia 7.2 follows this trend. With Android One, you are guaranteed 3 years of Android updates, no bloatware, and of course, security. You will also get quicker software updates, which, I enjoyed using this device. I wouldn't describe the experience as special, but I would describe it as useful. Useful is the right phrase. My version here comes with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, which is the highest one, and it can be further expanded with 512GB memory card. There's also a 6GB RAM version with 64GB of storage and a 4GB RAM version with 64GB of storage. Battery on here is the 3500 mAh battery, and it comes with a 10-watt charger in the box. My 30 minutes gaming session took 10% off the battery. It went down from 49% to 39%. In my overall day-to-day use, I usually ended up having to charge the Nokia 7.2. It's not the top choice for battery life if you're one who leans towards heavy use, like using your device as a hotspot or for streaming content. I use this that way, and I had to live with the low battery after every day. It's lighter use and more optimized use would, be fine, but heavy use is not. When it comes to charging speed though, the 10-watt charger that came with it charged it from 0 to 30% in 30 minutes, and another 30 minutes it went from 30 to 63%. So basically in 1 hour you get 0 to 63%. It took 2 hours and 4 minutes to get from 0 to 100%. As far as security goes, the fingerprint took a little while to get into the main interface, and with regards to face unlock, without enough light it will struggle a bit, and with enough light it will take some time to unlock as well. At least we get Bluetooth 5.0 on here, and I know that I mentioned that there isn't any bloatware, but is it bloatware if it's Google? I don't know. The Nokia 7.2 comes bundled with Google One, which is free 3-month storage. For those who don't know, for every Gmail account you create, you get 15 gigabytes free. For business users like some of us, you get 30 gigabytes free. But Google One gives you 100 gigabytes at the cost of 390 naira per month, and that's like $13 per year. So you can store and sync your photos across multiple devices if you have multiple devices. It's not for everyone, but it's there. However, this device has 128 gigabytes of storage, so unless you're probably taking a lot of 4K videos, which this is capable of, that will come in handy. Pricing on the Nokia 7.2 ranges between storage sizes, but mine is a 6 gigabyte and 128 gigabyte option. It goes for 100K, that's $280. Now to the camera. On the Nokia 7.2, we've got 20 megapixel f2.0 sensor on the front. The back is where we get the 48 megapixel wide sensor, 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor beside it, and the 5 megapixel sensor beneath, and the flash as well, just as I explained earlier. In the camera app, we've got Pro mode, which is where we can access the 48 megapixel sensor. We get portrait mode, photo mode, video mode, and they both have switches for wide angle and normal angle. And from what I could tell, the wide angle on the photo camera is wider than the video camera. You also get night mode. In front, you get video mode, photo mode, and unlike most cameras, you can actually zoom in the front camera interface, but it's just a digital zoom, but it's there as well. You get portrait mode and even pro mode in the front camera. I feel like these are a lot of options for more possibilities. As far as selfies, when I try to take front-facing selfies, the device auto detects my face and suggests I use portrait mode. And the comparison between them is quite interesting to look at. Looking at the selfies taken indoors, they looked okay in terms of the colors. However, portrait mode in the same space looked washed out. The background blur was still noticeable. In terms of the hierarchy of the wide 2x wide angle and normal lens, it's just like many cameras these days. It shoots raw in the DNG format, and each file is about 16 to 25 megabytes. So basically, you can shoot a normal image with a corresponding raw image, and you can further edit it and bring out really nice quality from your camera. So you can take your picture from something like this to something like this in Lightroom Edit. I'm not a huge fan of the night mode on this camera because it tries to smoothen things out too much, just because it wants to brighten things up. In terms of video quality, this device has very vibrant colors in 4K, but it's not stabilized. When you switch to 1080p, it's stabilized, but the trade-off is you don't get the nice colors in 4K. I think it's quite unfair. Basically once you're in 4K, the colors sort of pop. And I thought the footage was quite good and something people could use for recording something like a vlog, for instance. Also, audio quality on this device is great with the Ozo audio feature that it comes with. Hey, what's up guys? So this is the front-facing camera video quality of the Nokia 7.2. It's a 20 megapixel front-facing sensor with Zeiss optics, and it's also capable of HDR as well. The highest resolution that it shoots at, it's 1080p at 30 fps, and from what I could tell, the exposure on the back is actually too much. It's almost unbearable, and once you tap on it, it darkens the image quite a lot, and I must say that the darkness is quite bad. And once you tap on your face, it actually tries to level everything out, and it still shows you quite a bit of exposure on the back there, but it also tries to keep you leveled a bit. Shaking the camera will actually change how bright or dark it is quite a lot, and that's something I noticed. But yeah, it's also capable of Ozo audio, and let me know what you guys think of the sound quality as well as the video quality in the comment section down below. That's it for this video, guys. What are your thoughts about the Nokia 7.2? For me, I love the great form factor that it has, which is why I haven't used a case on it. Although I have very tiny scratches on the camera section, it wasn't anything noticeable because it's silver. Almost anyone I gave to hold said they liked the sturdy form factor, and that's a plus for me. Android One sort of felt a bit limiting, and I still had to get third-party apps to do things like screen recording, but it's good that it's not heavily loaded with bloatware. Alright, what are your thoughts about the Nokia 7.2, and is there any question that you have about this thing? Is there anything that you felt I missed? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Let's have a chat there. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications. And for the giveaway, all you have to do to win it is, of course, like and subscribe and turn on notifications. And also make sure you share this video with someone who you think might benefit from the information. And just like what we did for the Infinix S5, I already announced the winner of the Infinix S5 on all my socials. So yeah, the winner of the Nokia 7.2 will be announced on Christmas Day. That's 4 weeks from now. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.